iDriveSoCal is brought to you by the very best auto retailers from across Southern California. When it's time for you to buy or even just kick the tires on the idea of buying, just go to iDriveSoCal.com and click on dealers. iDriveSoCal.com, click on dealers, and get connected. Now, on with the podcast.
This is the 6th annual Auto Enthusiast Day at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. It's a car show, drift demonstrations, big component to the off-road vehicles. What I thought was really cool was that Lightning McQueen themed truck.
Welcome to iDriveSoCal, the podcast all about mobility from the automotive capital of the United States, Southern California. Tom Smith here with the good professor, Mr. Clinton Kwan. Say hello, Clinton.
Hi, Tom.
Hey. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Today's podcast is, and thank you for joining us as always, today's podcast is about Auto Enthusiast Day, which is basically, it's sponsored by Nitto Tires. It's their big shindig they do down at the Anaheim Angels.
Angel Stadium, Anaheim.
Angel Stadium of Anaheim, Los Angeles, Anaheim Angels. Whatever they're calling themselves these days,
Yeah.
Down in the parking lot down there. And a couple of things about this one. I did a pre-event podcast with Harry Kong, one of the marketing guys from Nitto Tires that's in charge of putting it on. And I was like, Harry, how do you guys get Angel Stadium to allow you to destroy their parking lot every year? Because this Auto Enthusiast Day is a ton of drifting, right? They had the drift competition.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah. So there's burnt rubber everywhere, and they're just literally destroying the parking lot. And Harry said, well, it helps that we sponsor the Angels every year. So, yeah. I think the beginning of that podcast is like, hey, we're going to ruin part of your parking lot each year, but we're going to have a really great car show out of it. So that's what Auto Enthusiast Day was all about. The professor's been there a number of times. It was my first time going, and it was pretty cool. But Professor, why don't you fill us in on some of the granular stuff, and I'll chime in from time to time.
Well, this is the 6th annual Auto Enthusiast Day, and as you said, it took place at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. And basically, it's a car show, drift demonstrations, and award ceremony. And it runs from 12 o'clock to 7. So there's a number of people that come in and out throughout the entire afternoon and early evening.
And they had, so there was a car show, kind of within a car show, really, because they had the parking lot itself had groups of automotive enthusiasts that had grouped themselves together and kind of tailgating, not in an alcohol kind of situation or anything like that, but tailgating, hanging out, enjoying cars, enjoying each other's company. So that was the outside, the parking lot itself. But then on the inside, which again, the whole thing's in a parking lot, but then on the inside of the gated off or fenced off area of the actual show, there were many booths and participating organizations, as well as more just cars. And I mean, it seemed to me everything was around the tuner kind of performance stuff,
Yes,
right?
that's correct. So basically, there's one area where you have people that bring in their own cars
Right.
for the show. And then you have another area where you have all these vendors and booths, and they're displaying their aftermarket products, and they have their own vehicle set up there so people can see what all the products are all about.
Yeah, and it was everything that focused around tuner drifting, and I guess there was some off-road stuff there too.
Yeah, that was a big component to the off-road vehicles, a number of Jeep vehicles. They had these Jeeps that were on display, and the tires,
I saw those.
they were up on top of another tire, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was like 3 Jeeps. Did you get a picture of that? I didn't get it. I should have took a picture of that.
There was one of those. I didn't get a picture of that one, but I did get one where there was one Jeep on top of another Jeep.
And we do have a picture of those of that.
I do have a picture of that one.
Okay.
Yes.
All
I
right.
do have a
So
picture
we'll
of that.
post that. But what the professor's talking about is there was a little Jeep exhibit, and it was, I think they were 3 side by side newer Jeeps, the 4-door
Correct.
Jeeps, the Wranglers.
Yes, the Wranglers.
And each one was so there's one in position, and then the one to the right of it had its left front tire on top of the one to the left of its right front tire.
Correct. Yes.
So they were kind of like dominoes, and literally, I mean, they just drove themselves into that position, which is kind of crazy. But
yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's some performance vehicles there, both for the road as well as for off-road. And by the way, Nitto and Harry and Abigail from Con Media, thanks for having us. Thanks for hosting us. It was a very nice time. I got there a little bit earlier than the professor. The professor and the associate professor got there a little bit after me. I was offered a drift ride, and I politely passed on my opportunity to drift. I had to get home to my son, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have time to kind of wash the rubber off of me, because it was open. It was open, right? The car was open. The windows weren't closed.
It was open.
Did you get did you get rubber on you?
I got a little rubber on me. Yes, I did.
Because this, folks, the tires were burning so much that literally they are ruining the parking lot. I guess that's the other thing that Harry was saying, that they redo the parking lot after every year's event. But then Abigail from Con Media, who's their PR agency, was telling me that after last year's event, just from her being a spectator, like, she had to literally go home and wash the rubber off her, because there was that much rubber residue from burning tires.
Yeah, I can
floating
imagine
through the air.
if you're that close to the cars. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But it was a really cool event. I mean, brilliant for Nitto tires, right? If I'm in the tire selling business, that's exactly the kind of sport that I want to get behind 100%, because all it does is just burn through tires like crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And actually, before you got there was a guy, he looked like an actor of some sort or whatever, but he got some special treatment. He was taken out of the course before before the show even opened, or before the demonstration started. And he was given a ride in one of the drift cars, because the setup was they had drift drivers that were taking people for rides.
Yeah.
The professor included. But so this one guy got to go for a ride, and Abigail's showing me around kind of like the pit area before the show started. So this guy gets to go for a ride, and then they pull back and they, burn rubber and do the drifting. And then they come back, and then the guy gets out of the drift car, hops in his own, I want to say it was a Challenger.
It was a Challenger.
Yeah. But it was a street car.
Mm.
It had a custom license plate. I'm forgetting what the license plate said. Actually, no, I remember, but I'm not going to say it because it wouldn't be appropriate. I don't know. But so he got in the Challenger with, I think he had a couple little boys with him. So one was in the back, one was in the passenger seat.
Wow.
And then they let him take his streetcar Challenger. It was an RT for sure, or what are is a Hemi or whatever that.
Well, that's the name of the engine, the Hemi engine.
Okay.
Or
it was significant.
Demon, was it?
It might have been. I don't know. I mean, it was significant. It might have been the Demon, but that's the one that they're only making a few. Not a lot of.
The one that's got something like 800 horsepower or something like that.
This might have been. I'm not sure. But he took his limited. He took his street car onto the track, and honestly, arguably the street car actually looked cooler and sounded cooler than the drift car did, spinning around right in front of us. I actually thought that he was going to blow his tires. And I mentioned that to Abigail. She's like, "Oh no, this pointed to a huge trailer just over a couple hundred yards away." She's like, "That's packed with tires. We're not running out of tires today." It's like, okay, whatever. But so anyway, the Auto Enthusiast Day there at Angel Stadium. Is it Angel Stadium of Los Angeles or Angels of? Are they calling themselves? Does Los Angeles have anything to do with the Angels name anymore?
I think so. I saw that recently. I think it's still called Los Angeles. Is it the
Angels of Anaheim
Los Angeles Angels
or
of
something?
Anaheim?
Which I remember, like OC in Anaheim,
Some
people hated
kind of-
that when Los
It's
Angeles.
a ridiculous name.
Right.
Whatever
At
it is.
any rate,
Yeah.
At any rate,
It should just be Anaheim Angels if that's not the name.
should be. But hey, you know, sports in Los Angeles, Southern California here, right? Just announced we got LeBron James coming to the Lakers. Woohoo!
Yeah.
You know, you got Microsoft, one of the Microsoft guys that owns the Clippers. You got the Dodgers did, you know, another World Series. Now we have two football teams. You got to have two football teams.
Yeah.
Can't just have one. But yeah, I think I like the motorsports aspect of Southern California more out of the whole lot of them. Oh, and you can't forget the Kings and the Ducks, right?
Yes.
Is there anybody I'm missing? Oh,
Galaxy.
Galaxy. And what about those the other team? Chivas?
No, I don't know that. I don't know the other one. I only know the Galaxy.
Anyway. Sorry if we left out any teams. What I kind of hijacked this whole podcast. I'm sorry, Professor. Why don't you tell us a little bit that I didn't already cover about the Auto Enthusiast Day?
What I thought was really cool was that Lightning McQueen themed truck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
my son was wearing the Lightning McQueen hat, so I said, "Oh, you got to get a picture with this truck." And
that's
that was
really
so
cool. Yeah,
and I was showing all my friends, and like, "Wow, how cool is that?"
That's a really cute picture. Yeah, I didn't realize that was the same hat that he had on, but we'll have that one on the. You got to check this picture out, everybody. At iDriveSoCal.com, go to this post, and we'll have this really cool picture of the Lightning McQueen from the Cars series,
Yes.
right? The Pixar
Disney Cars.
Yeah. Is it Disney? Okay.
Yeah.
And the associate professor's cute little boy standing in front of the truck, so that was really cool. Now, one of the things that Abigail told me, and I guess you missed this too, and maybe by the time we post this, everybody will have video or pictures of it that we'll get from Nitto, from Driving Line, which is the Nitto blog that put this whole thing on. But they were going to be jumping the off-road truck. They were drifting off-road trucks, by the way. They were going to be jumping the off-road truck over 3 cars drifting in unison.
Wow.
The professor missed this. I missed it because I had to get home to my son, my 8-month-old, actually 9 months old as of today. My son's 9 months old. Happy birthday. Happy 9-month birthday.
Yeah.
But so that was cool. The day was cool. Fun had by all. Professor actually drifted. And I don't think that was your first time drifting, right?
It was my first time, yes.
Really? I thought you had drifted before.
Well, I didn't drift. It was just I was riding shotgun.
Well, had you ever ridden shotgun before in a drift car?
No.
So that was the first. I swore you had told me that you had done that before. You had
not
okay.
No, I've been in an IndyCar a couple of times.
Okay, so 2018 Auto Enthusiast Day, which just went down this past Saturday, Professor Kwan got his first drift experience.
Yeah,
he was a passenger.
Yeah,
but you were whipped around pretty darn good. It looked like.
Yes, yeah, in a 600 horsepower Mustang, driven by Adam LZ. He's a pro drift driver and a huge YouTube star as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
He's a big YouTube sensation.
Is he a YouTube sensation with the drifting?
Yes.
Okay. You can tell I'm really dialed into the drifting scene as well as the YouTube sensation scene. All right, cool. Anything else to add?
I think we've covered.
Or did I just blow it all for you?
No, I think you've covered it. I think we've covered it.
I think you've covered it quite well today, Tom. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Glad I showed up for this one. All right. Well, Professor, thank you so much as always. We had a lot of fun out there.
Yes.
A little bit of time that we were able to spend together. And we'll look forward to doing it again soon. Without further ado, thank you for listening. For iDriveSoCal, I'm Tom Smith. See ya. Hey there. Still wanting more iDriveSoCal content? Just go to iDriveSoCal.com. From there, you can subscribe to our podcast and newsletter. And you can connect with one of our awesome car dealer partners to get yourself a sweet new high-tech wonder on wheels. And oh yeah, we always want to hear from you. So please connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. Or if you're not a big social media-ite, you can email us suggestions for stories, people, places, or events you think we should cover. Here's the address: media@iDriveSoCal.com. That's media, MEDIA, at the letter I, drive, DRIVE, SoCal, SOCAL.com. Media@iDriveSoCal.com. Thanks again for listening, and definitely reach out with whatever's on your mind.